Good morning and thanks for joining 9 News Mornings. I'm Anusha Roy. We're taking a live look outside off of Spear Boulevard here. We got a little light breeze and a beautiful blue skies and already a pretty pleasant morning at this point. We appreciate you joining us. I know you want to just hear from Keely about the weekend because we've got such a beautiful weekend ahead of us. We're going to head right to her, especially for folks who are maybe getting out to the farmers market, the soccer games, all that good stuff. This morning is going to be stunning.
Or the marathon. Yeah, it's not
yes,
a bad
the marathon,
start
yeah.
to the day. And tomorrow's looking fantastic as well. It's just this afternoon where we get some showers and the potential for some thunderstorm activity. But yeah, the first half of the day is gorgeous. We are gorgeous out there this morning. Lots of sunshine. We're at 54 out at DIA right now. 52 in Greeley. Fort Collins checking in at 50 degrees. So 50s, 60s already down across the southern plains. We're looking at 40s and 50s up there in the mountains. Here's a look at our HD Doppler radar, and it is calm out there. We do have some storm systems to the north of us. We're also getting some westerly flow, bringing a little bit of mid-level moisture moving in from the west, and that is increasing clouds across the western slope, the mountains, and bringing us some showers. That is what is going to move in over the plains, including the urban corridor this afternoon, increasing clouds, bringing us some showers, and the potential for some thunderstorms as well. Most of those storms will be fairly weak. You head out east across the plains, and they will pick up a bit in intensity. 78 degrees, your forecast high for today. Overnight lows dropping down into the low 50s. We'll talk about tomorrow's forecast as well coming up in just a bit.
Protesters at Auraria campus are dismantling their camp, and protest leaders say that their 3-week protest was a success. This is video from last night of them starting to pack up. Protesters partially achieved one of their stated demands to get MSU Denver to disclose its investments, but did not achieve their other goals of getting the colleges to divest from companies connected to Israel and the U.S. military and condemning Israel, as well as amnesty for protesters who were arrested. This morning, for the first time, we're hearing from protest leaders as they're clearing that encampment out.
It hasn't won divestment, but it's won a tremendous amount of momentum towards it. You know, we got full disclosure from the University of MSU when previously, just a semester ago, when we filed CORA requests for more information on their association with Lockheed Martin, we were given non-disclosure agreements. And so we've broken through and opened up the books of what's happening in MSU.
Yesterday, campus leaders said that they were locking up the buildings on campus and having students and staff learn and work remotely. All on-campus events are canceled until further notice. At the University of Denver, the pro-Palestinian protesters have been camped out for a little more than a week now. And now a group of Jewish students say that they're going to take their safety into their own hands. This group of more than a dozen students say that they feel unsafe and unwelcome on campus right now. So they're pairing up students to walk together through campus, documenting anti-Semitic and other offensive comments, and even sharing donated protection items like flashlights and pepper spray.
There's a huge frustration among a lot of us Jewish students, and we feel a bit abandoned by the administration. We don't feel protected by campus security. So our goal is to come together and kind of be that safety and security for each other and step up and keep ourselves safe.
The students say that while they are nervous that things could escalate, they've mostly been dealing with verbal comments and not physical threats. A lot of classes there are running through June, so the students are expecting to see protesters for several more weeks. DU officials tell us that there have been no reports of violence against Jewish students on campus, but encourage people to report any discrimination or harassment. New this morning, Common Spirit Health and Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield in Colorado have reached an agreement on a 5-year deal now. Now Anthem members covered by Anthem employer-based Medicare Advantage and individual health plans in the state will have in-network access to Common Spirit health providers and care sites through 2029. The previous agreement had expired just before midnight on April 30th. In a press release, both parties say they agreed that any Anthem members who may have received health care services at Common Spirit since May 1st will be covered at the in-network price level. A former Colorado Public Radio host has now resolved his dispute with his former employer. Vic Vela worked for CPR for 9 years before he was fired. Then he filed a civil rights complaint against the company. He posted online saying the dispute has been resolved and CPR is supporting him in producing future episodes of his podcast, Back from Broken. CPR also confirmed to 9 News that the matter is resolved and they will allow Vic to produce Back from Broken on his own in the future. Organizers of Douglas County's Pride Fest are changing venues this year. This is coming after far-right protesters disrupted last year's event at the county fairgrounds. Happened right before the start of a drag show. Men organized by a local tactical training group showed up and then tried to block the performance. Stayed there for about 40 minutes before security got them to move. Organizers say this August, Pride Fest will be held at Salisbury Equestrian Park. That's in Parker.
We are working on, our Pride Fest code of conduct, and we'll hopefully be able to have a little bit more enforcement in this new location. That's the most important thing, is that we all feel secure here and that we just have a great time.
Organizers say they also decided to change venues because the event is growing. In addition to drag shows this year, they're looking to have live bands, more vendors, and family-friendly activities. Former President Donald Trump's son, Barron, graduated on Friday from a private high school in Florida. The 18-year-old received diplomas from Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach. The former president and first lady, along with her father, sat in the front row bleachers. Earlier this month, Barron Trump was chosen to serve as a Florida delegate to the Republican National Convention, but the former first lady's office announced that while Barron was honored to be chosen, he would not be serving as a Florida delegate. We've got new video coming in from Katy, Texas. It's just west of Houston, where severe storms forced some people to find shelter inside a Costco. You can see the store workers were bringing down the shutters. They were asking people to move to the center of the storm. That severe storm packed hurricane-force winds. It pummeled the Houston area. We are now finding out that at least 7 people died and more than 500,000 people still don't have power this morning. U.S. Customs and Border Protection has released their April border apprehension numbers. The report showed that the numbers actually stayed flat from March to April. That's contrary to the surge that's typically seen at this time of year. The number of people crossing both the northern and southern borders were just over 247,000, up about 1,000 compared to March. It comes as Mexico has also stopped nearly 3 times as many people trying to cross the southern border as it did a year ago. This morning, we have new video of help and aid arriving in Gaza. That help is coming through a pier that was just built by the U.S. It is the first shipment, but American military officials hope that they can scale up to 150 truckloads a day. It's also coming as Israel continues to press into the southern city of Rafah. The U.S. and different aid groups are warning that the floating pier project is not a substitute for land deliveries.